About 4 years ago, we visited our coffee connection, the people that have been roasting with us in Chicago. They really were the forerunners in this idea of relational trade, direct trade. And after visiting with them, we said, you know, this is probably something we could do. We had remembered a connection in Peru the year earlier that somebody had mentioned that one of our missionaries there had a coffee farm. So, you know, we said, why don't we just try it, see what happens, see if we can go visit this farm. You know, when we originally had the idea of relational trade, and the Peruvian farm, this farm in Villarrica, was kind of the first one on our radar screen.
The Zoe story is good in so many respects. You have this big picture opportunity that we have to extend the gospel, to unleash the gospel in so many ways, in so many places. But it really begins in a localized way, in a personal way.
It's really easy to trade coffee and not necessarily care about the story that comes with it until you've experienced coffee that comes with a story.
If you look a farmer in the eye, you're going to treat them a lot differently than if they're just a number on a chart far away in some tropical country on some hillside in a rainforest.
It's an amazing scene to watch these families and these communities just continue to work seemingly without a break over the course of the 3 months that harvest is there. You begin to feel like you're a part of them, that you want to live the rhythms that they live, and it definitely has effect when you come back here to a Zoe's Cafe and you drink this coffee, or you serve somebody a cup from the farm and you realize the kind of work and the kind of energy that it went to make that cup of coffee.
Each little cherry has only 2 beans, and just thinking about how many beans it takes to make a whole pot of coffee.
To them, it's much more than just running to Starbucks or running to Zoe's or grabbing a cup before you go. To them, it's a complete way of life. It's a way of viewing every single part of their culture, of the way in which they see how the world works. It's all funneled through the coffee bean.
The Zoe's coffee story goes way beyond Zoe's, it goes way beyond Peru, and extends into Africa and other places where we work, where coffee is an issue, and we can use this as a wonderful way to connect with people and to serve Christ.
We can begin to see a picture, I think, all up and down kind of this eastern edge of Peru, how the kingdom of God could be expanded in this coffee community and this coffee business that is really what makes that part of the country go. We realize that there's definitely an avenue here that God can use in pretty profound ways to see His kingdom established and to see people loved deeply, to see us changed as we do this and just follow Him to places that we never ever dreamed possible that we could go.
Just the heartbeat of Zoe's is for the community here, but then also for the community there in Villarrica, because they're part of us.
And even if you've never experienced the farm, I think knowing the story of the coffee that you drink is something that's really powerful. So whether or not you've been to Peru, you have the opportunity to know that story, and you have the opportunity to share this story just as much as we do, because you're choosing to invest in something bigger than yourself.
It's super fun now to have this coffee and be able to sell it to people and be able to connect the story of these families with us and with the things we naturally do in terms of drinking coffee and going to these coffee shops and things like that, where you can literally be in your house and have a cup of coffee and drink Mama Nelly's Peruvian and be praying for Mama Nelly and be praying for Pastor Ben Amin, who's raking the coffee, and all these people that we've met, that we've been blessed to be a part of, that they have blessed our lives as well, and we've now connected these stories and these worlds. And so buying a cup of coffee is no longer just an exchange of money just to meet my needs, but it's really a connection of people.